27 years, that long. It seems but yesterday we left that war-torn hill above Gandesa. Is it perhaps because I'm growing old that thought now skips so lightly down the years, and the travail of a quarter-century melts in the vision of those great days, those days we lived and knew that we were living? We were at war, and yet we were at peace. We knew a peace we had not known at home, where conscience nagged and conflict raged within us. Spain. We woke each morning to the thought of Spain, Spain in our thoughts all day and into each troubled night. Disturbing thoughts, reproaching thoughts. Home was no longer home, for we were in the rear while the battle raged at the front. Comrades we'd never seen, yet knew and loved how dear they'd grown, leaving their ripening crops to reap a different, bitter harvest. Fighting a war we knew was rightly ours, since the fascist poisoned weed drew sustenance from the rotten soil of Cliveden, making England a dirty word. Our century had to be cleansed, so we went to Spain, where the defeat of Hitler started, and more than that, for freedom's an infectious thing, no frontier can contain it, and many a freedom fighter who served his stern apprenticeship in Spain proved every inch a craftsman in later battles. In the Hitler rear, in Italy and France, in the hills of Yugoslavia, in Germany itself, even in far-off Cuba, communicating skills to a newer generation of freedom fighters, giving this proof, this guarantee no freedom fight is ever really lost, while we can learn each human mind's an outpost, and the frontiers of freedom expand, conquering minds and hearts, prelude to the conquest of cities and of states, till the world is wholly free. And then we will strive for higher freedom still. What does El Caudillo see today as he sits and broods, lonely and afraid in his palace? Now his self-made jail he dare not leave. What does he see? Hitler gone. Mussolini gone. Batista gone. Who goes next? Salazar? Or even perish the thought. But the thought won't perish in London today, in Paris today, in Warsaw, Prague, and Rio de Janeiro. There are men and women exiled these 27 years, but today there's a spring in their step, and a meaningful phrase on their lips, a phrase that is more than a phrase, it is a promise to Spain, to themselves, to each other, and to you, Caudillo. Hasta la vista, Madrid. How do you like that promise, Caudillo? Will you be there? We'd like to know, for we are coming too. We also say, Hasta la vista, Madrid. There is so much we want to see once more. We will stroll in the Puerto del Sol and the Ramblas of Barcelona. We will cross the Ebro and drink with our friends in Mora, friends who will be free. We will look at them and at each other, and each of us will think, this is why we came in 36. And if we live to be 100, we'll have this to be glad about. We went to Spain. Because of that great yesterday, we are part of the greater tomorrow. Hasta la vista, Madrid.